Good morning. Happy Tuesday. This Lane Meyer stuff is actually interesting. Seeing his antics in court is somewhat interesting, and I'm honestly considering doing a live stream where I react in real time, give a lawyer's insight in real time as to what's going on in one of these. I'll probably do the November 15th if I do it. But I listened to about 10 minutes or so of a pocket recording that Lane Myers did in September at a pretrial hearing in his city of Tucson criminal case. Don't know what it's about. I don't really understand what's going on in that case. So if someone has some insight, and by insight I don't mean your analysis, I mean like court documents, it'd be interesting to find out, because it says on the court website that the charges were dismissed by the prosecutor, but there's also an appeal going on. So I don't understand it. I mean, again, I'm not licensed to practice in Arizona. It would be interesting to see what the court. There were lots of motions flying back and forth, and then the next thing I know, there's an appeal, and it says it's been dismissed by the prosecutor, but there's still a pending appeal. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. The pocket recording was Lane Meyer spurging out over Rule 8 violations, apparent Rule 8 violations. And again, I don't know enough about what's going on to know exactly why. He seems to think that there was 100 days to bring it to trial. My understanding from reading Rule 8 point, I don't remember which 8 point it was, but where he was free, where he was not in custody, they had 180 days from the arraignment to bring it to trial. And that could be extended if the defendant's actions caused it to be extended. And it doesn't have to be a willing action by the defendant. It could be an unwitting action by the defendant, where his actions cause enough disruption to require the trial to be continued. And in the pocket recording, Lane Myers was talking about getting 2 prior judges recused, which would be something that might require a continuance of trial, because now he's on the 3rd judge, and that judge might not have that particular trial date available, etc. He is right. There would have to be some notice about the trial date getting continued. I don't believe it has to go to the Arizona Supreme Court. I didn't look that up, but that doesn't sound reasonable to me. Courts generally get to control their calendars, and with the understanding that you have a right to a speedy trial, and a speedy trial is somewhat loosely defined. They've put in statutory days, but they've also put in statutory exceptions. So anyway. I don't know what's going on in that case. So that'd be interesting. Again, no one on my Discord is providing any documents. I know there are documents out there. So if somebody has documents related to this, I would love to see them. I do not want to watch Lane Myers videos where Lane Myers explains things, because I've seen Lane Myers in court, and he doesn't understand the law, and he doesn't understand procedure, and he's a liar. I mean, I'm going to flat out call him a liar. The judge on the November 15th hearing called Lane Myers a liar. I believe Lane Myers is a liar. I believe he was lying. And there are some things where, that evidence to me he's a liar. He says he's married, but at the hearing on November 15th, he said that his girlfriend was texting him on the phone. Now, is she his wife or is she his girlfriend? I don't know. You tell me. But those are mutually exclusive. So, I mean, either she's his wife or she's his girlfriend. To the best of my understanding, Arizona doesn't have common law marriage. So, you tell me. He might be holding her out as his wife and she's his girlfriend. But, that is what it is. And also, in his call with A. Blair Dunn, and A. Blair Dunn was entirely right in that call, whatever the Lane Myers sycophants want to believe, Lane Myers was trying to undermine the ability of his attorney to prevail. A. Blair Dunn was following a strategy that would potentially lead to an acquittal. And it seemed like a sound strategy to me. Not being an Arizona attorney, your mileage may vary, but A. Blair Dunn is an Arizona attorney, and A. Blair Dunn has experience in this, and everything A. Blair Dunn was saying matched up with my understanding and experience of how courts operate, and with my understanding of the statutes at play. So, but in that call, Lane Myers said that his wife was a magistrate, specifically a federal magistrate. Well, now it turns out that she's a law clerk. And it turns out that that the alleged victim in the stalking harassment case, got her fired. Now, how would a university employee get a federal law clerk fired? That's an interesting question, and I, for one, am glad you asked, because it can't happen. I mean, federal employees have protections. I mean, they can't just get fired willy-nilly. So how? But she wasn't a magistrate. Lane Myers was saying that she was a magistrate, but she wasn't a magistrate. She was a law clerk. Her own bio on that disability law firm on their website says that she was a law clerk, not a magistrate. If she had been a magistrate, they would have advertised that fact, because that's more prestigious than being a law clerk. I mean, law clerks are great. Don't get me wrong. I have seen law clerks do impeccable legal research. So, I mean, I'm not trying to diss law clerks. And by law clerks, I don't mean like the clerks that stamp your papers as filed. I mean the actual research law clerks that are attorneys that work behind the scenes for the judges doing the research and things like that. I've seen impeccable work. So Lane Myers is a liar. He's a liar McLiar pants whose pants are on fire. He's a liar. So I don't trust anything he says. So I want to see the documents. And for those of you who suggest that I need some sort of background knowledge or information to be able to properly understand these things, no, you're wrong. You might have noticed that at the November 15th hearing, it was a trial. And at the trial, Lane had the duty, had the obligation, had the burden to present all of the evidence in support of his position. And he failed to do it. The plaintiff also had the burden. She actually bore the burden of proof, but she had the burden to present all of her evidence as well. And she did it, and she was able to convince the judge. The judge did not have the benefit of all of the backstory. He didn't need it, because the parties in front of him had the burden to present the evidence that would support their particular claims or would undermine the claims of the other side. Lane completely shit the bed and failed to do any of it. He couldn't even muster one valid legal objection. The court helped him and turned a couple of his nonsense objections. Well, I think you're actually saying this. I mean, the court helped him a few times, but Lane Myers could not articulate a single valid legal objection. And I don't think any of the legal objections he made, valid or otherwise, were sustained. I don't think a single one of them. He's not a legal genius, folks. Now, I have my criticisms of what the judge did. I have my criticisms of what the plaintiff/attorney did. But for those of you trying to hold Lane Myers up as some paragon of lawfare, he's not. I mean, he shit the bed at his trial. He shit the bed, like lost it. He presented no evidence that supported his position. He admitted all of the evidence that undermined his position. I mean, it was a turkey shoot. It was shooting fish in a barrel. It was bad. Like, he went out of his way to lose, and he did it with very poor sportsmanship. Unbelievable. Anyway, so back to the beginning. If you have documents, please give them to me. My email address is merb34st@gmail.com. It is on my channel page in the About section. You probably have to click a thing to see it. You could send me hate mail or whatever. I don't care. That's what this email address is for. And or you could go to my Discord. You could post it on my Discord. Whatever. Just I'm interested in this. You'll get actual substantive videos where I go over the documents, like I've done for Chile de Castro, like I've done for Springer, like I've done for other people, and I will give you substantive legal commentary on it, so you could judge. You could better understand his legal pros and cons, or the pros and cons of the positions that he's presenting, of where he's at, etc. So anyway, it's my plea. I mean, if you want the content, I know Lane Meyer supporters are enjoying my content because they provide more comments than anybody else. I mean, I don't read half of them because they're nonsense and stupid, but I'm like, okay, you read the first sentence, you get the gist of it. All right, bro. You're mad. All right. You're mad. All right. You're mad. All right. You're mad. All right. Good times. I don't have to argue with you in my comment sections. I don't really care if I convince you or not, You're not my target audience. But anyway, send me the documents. If you can, if you will, send me the documents. I would appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.